bit about the attraction sphere. This is the moon position on the red side, on the design side, on the unconscious side in our human design that becomes the sphere of attraction in the gene keys. And it has to do with that like gravity force that is pulling things into our field. And it has to do with relationships. It's in part of the Venus sequence, and the Venus sequence is all about relationships, about what do we attract in our life, so that we can either, you know, live out the same pattern as was imprinted when we were kids, from 0 to 7, from 8 to 14, and 15 to 21. So either we live out the shadow patterns on that, or we transcend the shadow patterns so that we can tap into the gifts. And that's really, you know, what we start doing through that sphere of attraction. We start to look at the dynamics of our relationships, of our intimacy and our sexuality. That's the first kind of step on threading back through that Venus sequence and coming back to the core, which is then becoming our vocation. So when we look at the sphere of attraction, we're going to see our you know, unique personal style of intimacy, of connection. And we have those lines that are really interesting to go deeper into. That, you know, it's about, the first line is about wholesomeness, the second line is about passion, the third line is about playfulness, the fourth line is about romance, the fifth line is about sensuality, and the sixth line is about ecstasy and innocence. And we can see like how the lines build on each other. And they're also a shadow frequencies. It's about being resigned, disappointment, is about being, you know, manipulating or being manipulated, or in entrapment. It's about being like distant and cold, or it's about being promiscuous, or it's about being just like driven by lust, or if it's about like being sterile and not even feeling. So you can see that there are both like a positive way of living them out and a very contracted way of living them out. So when we can start to look at our line and our patterns and how, you know, we are playing out these dynamics, and also including the gene key in that, and see like, okay, wow, you know, this shadow frequency, in my case is arrogance, like this is actually playing out in a lot of my relationships. You know, it's imprinted there. So how can I go about it? How can I tap up into true leadership, and how can I inspire that in other people? So that's how you look at the shadow and the, you know, gift frequency. You start to kind of see where it shows up, and you start to actually contemplate the gift frequency and see, and, you know, and open that door more and more. But the first step is always awareness. So that's why when we go into our sphere of attraction, there's so much wisdom. And then we also speak about the sexual wound here. So there's often like an imprinting from an early age, and you can see this from all the lines. You know, the early age imprinting where you can have a sexual wound, and how to go about that. Because many times it's something we close that, we don't even remember it because it's too hard. But with this, we can start like, you know, peel small layers that they're gonna allow us with gentleness, with, you know, with care, to actually go in and feel. And that's part of the Venus sequence. That's what we want to do. We want to go to those tender places, and we want to feel that it's safe to go there. And through the Venus sequence, and through, you know, somebody who's worked through it before, it's safe to go there. It's not, doesn't mean that it's comfortable. It doesn't mean that it doesn't hurt, but it's safe. It's safe to feel. And that's really, you know, that's really the genius, I would say, of the Venus sequence. That for the first time we can do it in a way that it's not just like opening up the wounds and putting salt in them. You know, it's actually a container where things can also heal, where things can be felt, where things can release, where things can be kind of washed and cleaned. So, you know, it's deep work. It can be done for kind of fun. There's something about sexual compatibility. So it can be done for fun if that's what you're looking for, but it can also be done really, really deep, and even go further down and look at the imprinting of your inner feminine and masculine, and really see that sacred marriage, and how even that can, you know, help you to understand the dynamics of the wound, and how to heal it. So it's all these different levels that we can jump in, from a more playful way to a really, really deep way. So I'm really happy to start doing this a bit this month, and to have kind of, you know, door openers for this. I'm going to do a little bit of things in the group. I'm going to have also sessions, do one-to-one, and just see what comes up from this, you know, sphere of attraction that is so powerful.